This 17 News at Noon podcast is brought to you by Clinica Sierra Vista.
Welcome back to the 17 News at Noon podcast, where we share your news on your schedule.
Good afternoon and thanks for joining us. I'm Alex Fisher. The failure to drive the speed limit ultimately led to 2 murder convictions after a dead man was found sitting in the passenger seat. This discovery happened on a foggy morning back in January 2018. Court documents say a CHP officer pulled over the driver of an SUV found speeding on Highway 65. When the officer looked at the man sitting in the passenger seat, he realized the man was dead. He was later identified as a man from North Hollywood. The coroner says he had been strangled. Prosecutors allege Adam Barnes and Manpreet Sindhu killed the man to collect his life insurance. Officials say nearly 4 years later, they still don't know where the man was killed. Both Barnes and Sindhu were sentenced to 25 years to life in prison for the murder. If you would like to read more about this story, you can visit our website, kget.com. The violence in Kern County continues as we've learned a 19-year-old man was shot and killed in Delano overnight. The shooting happened on Oxford Street around 12:30 this morning. Delano police say 2 men were shot. 19-year-old Elisha Gonzalez was killed. The other man walked away. By our count, this is Kern's 117th killing so far this year. That means on average, someone is killed in our county every 3 days. Officials in New Mexico gave an update today to discuss the investigation into the deadly shooting on the set of Rust involving actor Alec Baldwin. Investigators say the incident is still under investigation and more work needs to be done to determine exactly how it happened. 600 pieces of evidence have been collected, they say, including 500 rounds of ammunition, some of which are believed to be live rounds.
During the initial investigation, it was determined that actor-producer Alec Baldwin was the person that fired the weapon. We identified 2 other people that handled and/or inspected the loaded firearm prior to Baldwin firing the weapon.
Baldwin was practicing a scene when he fired a gun he believed to be loaded with blanks. 2 people were shot, including director Joel Souza and cinematographer Halyna Hutchins, who died from her wounds. All parties are said to be cooperating with the investigation. Coronavirus continues to spread here in Kern County at an alarming rate, and there is no sign the virus is going away. Data released today by Public Health shows another 477 people have been infected with this virus. We also learned of another 5 lives lost to coronavirus. Now we know of at least 1,657 people who have died since the beginning of the pandemic. At least 220 people have died during this 3rd surge. 228 people are in the hospital right now with more severe symptoms. 71 people are fighting for their lives in the ICU.
Hello, this is Tim Callahan with Clinica Sierra Vista, and we're excited to unveil the Community Health Center of the Future, our comprehensive care center. It's located right across the street from Memorial Hospital. We have every service under one roof, from family medicine, OB/GYN care, dental services for adults and children, behavioral health, and much more. So find your way to better care at Clinica Sierra Vista this year at our comprehensive care center. Visit our website, clinicasierravista.org, for the latest on this project. We'll see you soon.
Parents in the Panama Buena Vista Union School District are making their frustrations heard once again last night over the state's impending vaccine mandate for students.
As a tax-paying citizen in this district, my son won't have a school to go to if the vaccine is required. He's not getting a vaccine, and what are our choices? What are we supposed to do? Sorry for my poor speaking skills. Thank you.
Parents clearly emotional as they ask board members to consider providing an alternate to getting the COVID-19 vaccine. The Kern County Superintendent of Schools says the COVID vaccine mandate is a public health state regulation, meaning a school district would have no choice but to follow it. The mandate is anticipated to go into effect for students in 7th through 12th grades starting next year. Meantime, the Panama Buena Vista School Board last night motioned to expel 2 students who made threats towards students and staff on social media. You may remember earlier this month when police arrested a 14-year-old girl and a 13-year-old boy in connection with a threat made against Thompson Junior High and Tevis Junior High schools. Police later found the threats to be not credible. While the board motioned to expel the students, the issue was discussed in closed session, so no other information was immediately available. The County Board of Supervisors met yesterday to take public comment on preliminary maps ahead of next month's hearing on redistricting. It is deja vu for residents who recall a 2016 lawsuit filed by the Mexican American Legal Defense Fund claiming old district boundaries drawn in 2011 deprived Latino residents of their voting rights by diluting their populations throughout multiple districts. The support was divided, some claiming district lines aren't broken. Therefore, there's no need to redraw them. Regardless, the supervisors have various options as to how the redraw will look. There was some confusion about whether Tehachapi would be pushed out of Kern County and into LA County, but officials say that will not be happening with this redraw. Nurses, teachers, labor leaders, and elected officials came together yesterday over a new report that states certain pesticides used extensively here in Kern and Ventura counties pose a significant cancer risk to children. 2 UCLA studies found that 11 out of the 13 pesticides in regular use in our county have been linked to early childhood cancers. The most at risk, children whose mothers lived within 2.5 miles of pesticides application while pregnant. The Center on Race, Poverty, and the Environment says more than 28 countries have banned or not approved 10 of the 13 pesticides studied, and current California regulations, they say, are currently insufficient. It also says the most at-risk group from pesticides in Kern is the Latino community. And this week you can experience some Halloween scares. It's all for a good cause. Local artists banded together to open the Rum Haunted House in Southwest Bakersfield. Event organizers say it's a dream come true for lovers of horror movies, with frightening displays inspired by more than a dozen classics. All money raised benefits artists seeking knowledge. It is a free community art class.
You're coming to have fun. You're coming to let it scare you. It's like an intense time. But what you're doing is you're supporting a child or even someone that's handicapped or a senior or somebody's paints, somebody's canvases. You're supporting that art class.
You can visit the haunted house at 3824 Wood Lane near Stein Road. It is open until Halloween, and anyone under 18 years old needs a guardian in order to enter. You can find tickets by searching Red Rum Haunted House at eventbrite.com. Well, the Bakersfield Condors are honoring local veterans with a special match dedicated to them and an opportunity to send one of them to the nation's capital. The Condors have entered a competition with their rivals, the Stockton Heat, for whichever team can get more veterans to attend Military Appreciation Night, held on Saturday, November 13th. If Bakersfield brings more veterans, Stockton will foot the bill to send one of them on an upcoming Kern County honor flight to our nation's capital. Here's where you come in. You can help out by sending vets and their family to the game, and we've placed a link to do that on our website, kget.com. All you have to do once you go to our website is search for the hot link icon on our home page. Meantime, local organizations are teaming up for a Veterans Resource Fair for this weekend. Bristol Hospice, along with Bakersfield Vet Center and Portrait of a Warrior Gallery, are offering veterans the opportunity to meet with businesses and nonprofits dedicated to providing services, support, and jobs. It's happening Saturday from 9 a.m. till 3 at Portrait of a Warrior Gallery on I Street. That same day, a veteran and first responder blood drive is being held at Houchin Blood Bank on Truxton Avenue. Those who donate will receive a raffle ticket for the resource fair.
The 17 News at Noon podcast is a production of KGET and Nexstar Media Group. For more on all of the headlines in today's show, head to kget.com.